Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the 105 leFH18B2, the French Tier 5 Premium SPG we know and love as VP La Pew Pew. You might know as a leppy, a leaf blower, or a lehepa. This one is on the north spawn of Overlord under the command of Appa561 of OLIMP. Game on! That's a 105mm light field howitzer, so it doesn't have stun. But what this tank does have is a phenomenal fire rate, and of course it's actually quite powerful because it's capable of doing 410 alpha. Now he's got 53mm of pen, and the normal reload rate would be 8.92 seconds, but in this one he's capable of doing it in 7.54, and that makes a huge difference when you're shooting at the enemy because they have difficulty trying to get out of the way. But it is a fun Arty to play. Oh, that was a direct hit. There was no explosion at the other end, so we know he definitely touched that Type 64. Now, the thing is, there are very few premium Artys in the game. Only 2. Whereas there are literally hundreds of premium tanks. Wargaming's too frightened of putting in more premium Artys, even though they know that they would make millions, not just millions, tens of millions in profits if they were to bring in more pixel Artys as premium tanks. But sadly, they won't, because you see, most of the experienced players are just incapable of dealing with Arty. Yeah, they're not that good. They think that they're good at the game. They're not, because they can't cope with Arty. It's sad, really. They make out that they're quite capable of playing the game, but no. You bring a premium Arty to the game and they say you're cheating. But it's not the case. And we can see that Skoda got quite close in the bush. And now he's got hit. 86 hit points from that one. Let's see if we can get another shot. He's backing up. Lined up. Rounds out. And he's out the game. That's the first kill for Appa. It's not as if it's difficult for Wargaming to actually introduce new Arty, because we've actually found the tanks that they could use to do them, and all of the models are actually in the game already. So yes, it wouldn't take much. Oh, he's got his second kill, and it's a blind one. He killed an Achilles. He fired where it was last seen, and he was still there, and he's wiped it out. You can see the other Arty in our game, who happens to be a gorilla, just got a direct hit on that KV-1SA, the auto-reloading KV-1. He's hiding behind that rock for the moment. But look at this guy here, T14, keeps poking around the corner and making himself a nice little target. We're 1 down on the enemy at the moment, but it's early on in the game. Appa is an experienced starting player. We've seen him quite a lot. He's come a long way since he joined What Arty Noobs. And he's done quite a few replays as well. I think there is a playlist for him, so I'd check that out. You'll be able to see some of the battles he's been in. At the moment, we're seeing that 178B, but here's someone we can hit, and that's an AEC, and he's very low on hit points. Fires the round in. Got it very close. Guy's still trying to retreat with only 22 hit points left. He's judging where he thinks he might be. Can't get them. That 88 is staying down there on the corner, trying to avoid being hit at all. We just saw the tracer from an enemy Arty somewhere around about this spot. Now, the enemy team has 2 FIFIs. So he's anticipating that one of them is just on this area. You get 50 rounds to play with, but it's not enough to keep firing away forever. That AMD 178B is still full health, but he won't be for long if he keeps poking around the bowl like this. We're lining up a shot round about there. Nope, just out. More enemy tanks are coming into sight. Just spotted a Panzerschmalten. That's the premium Panzer. Fires around in and... oh, direct hit! Yep, that one hit the target. Didn't kill him, but it certainly would have hurt him a bit. And he has moved on since then. Okay, we've got a Tiger 131, 10 hit points. Oh, and he's gone. And there's that 178B again. Moving too quick. You need to give a good amount of lead, otherwise you miss the target. But there's the Basotto. Let's put a round into him. Tank named after a dog, the Dachshund. That's Basotto in Italian. Just missed him. Looks like it may have tracked him though. Let's see if we can put a round directly on him. Rounds out. Oh, right on top of him, and it actually penetrated and killed him outright. I'm pretty sure that would be a penetration. He fires one in at the 178B, who's playing peekaboo with our Churchill 7. Just missed him as he was pulling away. Let's see what we can do now. No, he is moving rather rapidly and changing direction to avoid any artillery shells hitting him. Let's see what we can do. And he's just killed the Churchill 7. Oh. It seems he stopped at the cliff edge. Just missed him again. He is running short on ammo, but the AMD finally goes down to the Giro. There's 5 left on the enemy team, 5 left on our team, but now we've got to go at this 88 who was sitting down at the beach end for quite some time, and now he's made himself vulnerable because he's retreating away from us almost straight away, but now he's turning around towards us and he's still taking hits. He's being blasted with our shells. Notice how he lets them dial in so heavily, so tight, so he could get an easy hit. And the 88 goes down to the Giro. So with 3 kills on the board and 4 enemies left, let's see what he can do. Of course, we got the 2 enemy Fifis, a KV-1SA and a Panzerschmalten. And we know he's hit the Schmalten before, because that was the one where he fired and the shell disappeared. KV-1SA, I seem to recall, has very low hit points. Of course, he's down by the beach end, or at least near the chine down at the far end. We don't think there's any tanks up this end of the map. They're probably all down the south end of the map. Now, as you may know, the Germans captured a number of Char B1s during the Battle of France, and 16 of them became this type of Arty. So it is actually a German Arty, not a French one. But that was wargaming for you. They made it French to so they had a premium vehicle to sell when they brought out the French tech tree. The irony is they could have just made it a German Arty all the same, and I don't think anyone would have noticed, but the fact is they just needed something French and premium. Well, nothing in sight, but the gorilla on our team is actually moving quite fast forward and headed south. If anything, I think he's probably going to find the enemy Arty before enemy tanks. We're just guessing where the enemy might be at the moment. He is rather short on shells at the moment, so... oh, well, there's the indication. He's definitely around this area where the tree is. That's also where the spawn point is for Arty in the game. So he's somewhere around about there. We need to dial in on this area. Look between the trees. Yeah, we just saw a tracer from another Arty coming out from this area. Our gorilla's getting very close. And there's the enemy Fifi. Unfortunately, we just lost the gorilla, but the enemy Fifi is now in our sights, and we're going to keep firing at him. Oh, now that didn't work. He lost sight of him, but he's got it back again. 390 meters view range on this Arty. Keep those shells pumping in at the Fifi as he moves about. He knows the danger he's in. That was just over the top of him. We can hear the damage he's doing to the scenery. We just can't see him now. Appa561 going to chase him. There's only 2 left on our team. The rest of the enemy have actually managed to finish off most of our tanks. We've got the Fury. He's still alive and he's still full health. So what the Fury is going to do now is discover where the enemy is, and one of the Arties was down on the beach. So let's see if we can dial in and kill this guy. Okay, almost fully dialed in. Lines up and rounds out. Direct hit, 125. We're running short and the Fury gets the kill. The Fury's got his first kill actually, but he's still taking damage now. The KV-1SA is down there as well, but from this angle we can't get a shot on him. But I don't think that'll matter because I think the Fury does have a shot on that guy. Oh, but he's losing health and in fact he has gone down, he's died. 3 minutes 26 seconds left in the game. It's 1 against 3. And beside that being very difficult, I think he can still win this one if he can take out both Arties. Or rather, one of the Arties, I should say. There's only one Arty left. The Fury got the other. Okay, let's see. He's leading it. Well, he did get a hit. Unfortunately, we have been spotted now. So the enemy Fifi knows where we are. And he gets the kill. So that's 4 kills now. He's trying to go down towards the beach. Changed his mind. He's headed away from the cap area. I get the feeling he thinks that the enemy tanks are going to try and come up here and kill him. That would be a mistake because in a defensive position, the 390 meter view range is very, very powerful. And if any tank tries to approach him, he would just blast them. Fifis are very good at ambush. Just find a bush on the expected track of the enemy and then turn to face them, and he's done that. He's found the right spot, and that's the 2-minute mark. The enemy hasn't started to cap yet. Now, he's nicely invisible to the enemy. If they try to approach him, he will give them what for. And with the alpha of his Arty, yes, he can easily penetrate them at close range. Well, it's too late now for the enemy to cap with just one. Nobody's started capping at the other end, so the only way they can win is to find him and kill him. Here comes the the Panzerfischmalten. He's looking. And he's getting close. He's actually switched, I think, to the... has he got the armor piercing? Or is he actually using... No, I don't think he's using HE. I think he is using armor piercing. Which is unusual because you're much better off with a heat round. Because they will go through quite a lot of armor. Into the last 35 seconds. 104 millimeters of penetration for the heat rounds. But the armor piercing has only got 64 millimeters of pen. And the HE has got 53 millimeters of pen. So you are far better off with standard HE. Panzerfier knows that he's been spotted, and he's trying to move in this direction without getting hit. Moving about. Oh, that one hit! That definitely hit the enemy. And that's it. Time's run out. Here's the end of battle results, and that was a third-class tanker for Appa561 of OLIMP in the 105 leFH18B2. He managed to get a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He got 4 exactly, as well as a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 14. And his win rate from that one was 6,633, which is super unicum and something more. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, we can see he didn't get the highest damage, but he came very close. The high damage actually went to a Giro, who got a high caliber for 2,646, whilst Appa561 got 2,296. So he was close. Third place goes to the Panzerfier Schmaltern, who was still alive at the end of the game, and he got a Spartan medal and 1,717 hit points. So I guess that last shell that Appa561 fired at him actually didn't penetrate, and that's how he managed to get a Spartan when he had so little hit points left. In fact, it makes sense not to use the armor-piercing rounds at all if you can help it, and to make sure that you use the heat rounds, because the heat rounds have much more penetration. The AP units, or the AP shells rather, only have a little more penetration than the HE, and of course the HE has more alpha. It's 410 as opposed to the 350 on the armor-piercing rounds. In fact, it's something that's puzzled a lot of players for a long time, that the armor-piercing round actually doesn't have that much effect more than the HE. So you are better off with the HE or the heat rounds every time. When it comes to kills, though, we can see Appa561 got the highest number of kills, but he shared it with the Fifi on the enemy team, who also got 4 kills. 3 kills went to the Giro on his team, and 2 kills went to the other Fifi, the AMD178B and the AEC on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, we can see he did get the highest on that one. 652 went to Appa561, 635 went to the KV1SA on the enemy team, and third place actually goes to the Giro on his own team with 596. He fired 37 rounds, so he did have spare rounds left over that he could have used. 13 direct hits on the enemy, 4 penetrations and 12 splash. Damage of 2,296, of which 2,090 were at more than 300 meters. So there was some damage done at fairly close range, and I think that was to the enemy Fifi. 8 enemy vehicles were damaged, 4 were killed, and he got 278 hit points of damage assistance or spotting assist in the game. On a free player count, he made 25,938 credits, and on his free experience, he actually got 826, including the bonus. So very well played, but unfortunately it ended up being a draw, and it was unfortunate that he didn't get that last kill on the Panzerfier Schmaltern. There is another game, so let's have a look at that one. The second replay is on the north spawn of Cliff. Game on. Ooh, that was a bit weird. We went straight through that Churchill 7. Okay. Well, I think he's trying to decide where he's going to go, or he's trying to type something out to the rest of the team. Yes, he's suddenly gone inoperational, but he's back. No, it must have been something distracted him, because you wouldn't normally stop like that right at the start of the game. You normally want to get into position as quickly as possible so that you can get your first shots off. Okay, be careful. That avoids any damage early on in the game. Oh, he's typing again. Ah, right, he's selected a target, a VK3001H. It's a tier 6 game with tier 5 tanks in it. And we've seen this in a replay recently. The VK3001H, a 30-ton tank with quite a powerful gun if you get the 75 centimeter, or 75 centimeter, 7.5 centimeter, I should say. A 75cm gun would be impressive. I think you would normally have that on a battleship. Well, that hit the rock, but there is a tank behind that rock. And we can also see a T-34 retreating from a short distance away. Now, there are a number of enemy tanks up on the donut at the moment, and I think we're about to see them. They'll come into view. Oh, we just saw a tracer coming from one of the enemy arties. They have a bishop and a gorilla in this game, and one of them has decided to go over in this corner. He's just looking for where the tracer started. There's one of the enemy tanks, and it's a KB2. Fires a snapshot in. Unfortunately, it went long. That guy's probably going to come down to this corner. Meanwhile, the enemy tanks are starting to come into sight on the donut. And yes, we've got a Cromwell. 2 Cromwells, actually. Now, that Cromwell is very, very, very vulnerable. The other one's just been hit, and he's a one-shot now. Let's see what we can do. Okay, lines up the shot. Fires the round in. Oh, and it's a wipeout. That's a good kill. As the guy retreated around the corner, the shell came down right on top of his... looks like the back of the turret took it, but it was a good kill. Solid one. Now, we can see another tracer coming from the back of the map. That must be the gorilla, because he hasn't got the... he's got the range to be further away. So that means the closer Arty is the bishop. We're dialed in on the leopard. Rounds out. Just goes in front of him. Now, that was a bit snap. Now, let this dial in and go for it. Rounds out. That was a solid hit. Oh, he got the kill. He set light to the engine deck. And he's got the kill. So he's 2 kills now. And a Stug Fear has just turned up. Making his way towards that little corner. You can sit in that corner. And we can't hit him from this position. Okay, there's an M4A1 over the other side of the battlefield we can fire at. We just saw him hiding behind the house. That's out of range. We can't get the sniper's nest. It's just too far away. We need to be a little closer to that spot. Now we can go for this M4A1. He did pull away. He must have realized that, yes, he was in a dangerous position to sit there, because Arty would definitely have a go at him. And now the Cromwell, who was sitting on the corner, has come out. Okay, really have a go at this guy. Rounds out. Yes! Solid hit. 166. Went through the front of the vehicle. All those flat surfaces on the front of the Cromwell. Okay, T-34's made it up to the spot where the leopard was. And he's moving up behind him. Rounds out. Hits the rock face. The M4A1's come back in sight. That was a direct hit. T-34 took one. We can now see the Stug Fear and the Basotto on this corner. Now, whilst the Stug Fear can pull back, the Basotto just got a direct hit. Yeah, M4A1. Dialing in. The T-34 pulled back. You can see he's lost about, I think it was about 87 hit points. Just took another hit. And the VK3001H is going up the cliff towards the lighthouse. It's very frustrating that we keep intermittently getting sight of the enemy and then our teammates lose them, and so we can't see where they've gone. Okay, the T-52's gone up on top of the lighthouse as well, and he can see the VK, but of course he's only a little light tank, and with his gun, he's not going to be able to take that guy down very easily. It's only a 57mm main gun. You can only peck away at the guy one by one. And in fact, actually, he gets wiped out by the bishop on the enemy team. We're going to lose sight of the VK very shortly. Well, the good news is we're one tank up on the enemy. The bad news is that can easily change. The KV-2 has been wiped out down in this area of the map, but that Stugfir and the Basotto are still in the game, somewhere around about here. You guess that the guy might be sitting behind the wreck, using it for cover. I like this. Appa's actually moving forward to get closer to these enemy tanks. It means that he should be able to shoot over the entire range of the map. Closer you are to the center, the more likely you can cover the entire distance around the map. But there's only a couple of 100 meters difference on the maximum range of being able to shoot. And he's just got a direct hit on a tank destroyer, I think, who's up there. That must be the Hellcat. Well, we didn't get him on the second shot. The Hellcat's the only one who hasn't been seen for a while. In fact, hasn't been seen at all. So I suspect he's up there at the moment, and he's actually planting rounds in just to see if he can catch him out. No, I think he's actually just behind the rock there. Okay, the Hellcat's come down from that position. He's actually now going along the cliff edge. So we're aiming in the wrong direction. We should be aiming directly at the Hellcat. He's fired another one in the bush. No, he's not there. He's actually moved closer to our guys. Okay, we can see that the VK is still up on top of the cliff. And he can shoot down on our guys trying to go around. There's their M4A1. He's on the move. And we know that the Hellcat is on the cliff edge. We've just lost our Basotto. VK was briefly in sight, but the Hellcat has come back. Now, we probably got a direct hit on, or direct shot on the Hellcat, because there's nothing blocking a fire in his direction. No rock or anything blocking a shot. Using the mini-map to work out that the gorilla is located just behind that rock. He launches one in, and it hits the rock instead, but only just. No shot on the MF4A1, but he can definitely put one on the Stugfir, and he doesn't realize that. Oh, just missed him on that shot. Now, is he going to move? And will we get the kill shot? No, we just missed out on the kill shot to the gorilla, who's right the way back on the north end of the map. Okay, the T-34's just fired. So is the enemy Arty. Oh, he got that one. Even on the move, he got him. He was actually just congratulating the gorilla for getting the shot, the clean shot on the Stugfir. And now he's got the bishop in sight, so he's dialing in, and he should be able to take this guy out with one round if he can get a pin. Rounds out. Well, he did get a hit for 155, but the bishop moved. We fired another one in, and he got the kill with the next shot, but now he's switched. He's actually moved to the heat rounds. Okay, there's the VK3001H. Now, the thing about the heat rounds is you have to get a direct hit in order for it to work, but if you do get a direct hit, they can be lethal to the enemy. Okay, the Hellcat, he's virtually fully dialed in, rounds out. And he killed him with one shot! That's a Top Gun! There's only 3 enemies left. Now, the M4A1, the Basotto, and the Gorilla, that's all they've got left. There's the M4A1, but he has to get a direct hit to make it work. No, that's going to hit the rock. Now he fires. Just misses. The M4A1 feels he's in danger, so he pulls back, and that's going to hit the rock face. Or did it? I think that might have actually hit the target. There was no explosion. Mind you, there would not be an explosion if it did hit the rock. It would make a fizzle noise, or it would just it would fizz as it hit the rock if it was a direct hit. Our guys are not really moving in on the enemy. They should be. We're into the last 2 minutes. There's only 3 of them left. We outnumber them 2-1. Come on, guys. There's the Gorilla. Okay, so we can take this guy out. Styling in. He just took a hit. And before our shell leaves the tube, the Gorilla's gone. So there's only 2 remaining now. And it does look like he hit the M4A1 before. Just misses it again. Running short on ammo. Only 5 rounds. And in fact, the Gorilla kills the M4A1, which now means that the Basotto is the last enemy tank alive. And he's over in the corner just to our right. If we can get the hit with a heat round, it'll go straight through him. He's adjusting just to try and get it right. The Stug's moving in. And there's the Basotto. Okay, so adjusts the aim. Lets it settle. Fires the round in. Oh, and he gets a big pen. A high roll for 364. And the Basotto goes down, so it's a victory with 41 seconds left on the clock. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was another ace tanker game for Appa561 of OLIMP in the 105 leFH18B2. He managed to get an arsonist because he set light to one of the enemy tanks and they burned up. I think that was the Leopard. He also managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 13. Got a cause medal for doing more damage than 8 times the hit points of his own vehicle. He also got the high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and he got a Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills. He was trying for that 7th one, but he just couldn't get it towards the end. His win rate from the game was 10,789, which is Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, we can see the high damage was 2,942 hit points. The only other player who actually managed to make it over 2,000 hit points was the Basotto on the enemy team, the last one alive. He got 2,039. And the third highest, well, that turned out to be the Hellcat on the enemy team, 1,968. When it came to kills, yes, Appa got that one. 6 kills to him. 4 kills went to the Basotto on the enemy team, 3 kills went to the KV2 and the Churchill 7 on his own team. And when it came to base XP, he was the highest again, so he's got the top in all 3 columns. He got 1,266, the only player to get over 1,000 base in the game, with 712 going to the Gorilla, who was also very good. He got 2 kills, and 697 went to the Churchill 7. He fired 46 rounds, so he only had 4 rounds left at the end of the game. They were all heat rounds as well. 13 direct hits on the enemy, 7 penetrations, 10 splash. 2,942 hit points of damage, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damaged 9 of the enemy, killed 6, and did 112 hit points of damage assistance in the game. On a premium count, he actually made 57,717 credits from the battle, and he made 10,255 experience points out of it as well, including a mission completion bonus of 7,596. So very good score. And he said, well, almost 7, almost just missed out. But yes, you can see how well he was doing. And a few of those rounds, if they had hit the target, I think he might have actually picked up a Radley Walters out of it. I hope you enjoyed those replays, the first one with the draw and then this one with the Top Gun and the Gauze. If you did, please give this video a like, and thank you for watching.